All right. Good morning, everyone. Want to personally welcome you to yet another amazing section today, and I'm so excited to be here with you as well. So, I'm not here alone on this particular call. I'm here with my moderator and also my broadcaster for today's section. So today is actually going to be an amazing section with us here, trying to look at how to use data and insight to help grow our businesses. And before I go ahead with that, I want to personally introduce myself. My name is Johanna Ayuba. I'm a lead trainer with Impactor on this particular Google Data Skills for Africa project, right? Then I'm here with also Nora Kalu. You will be seeing Nora Kalu in the comment section. She's going to be our moderator for today. So please engage with Nora in the comment section. She's going to also be responding to some of your questions and also engage with you in some of the responses as well. So lastly, I also have the broadcaster for today who happens to be Chidima. Chidima is at the back and you won't be seeing Chidima for today. So she's actually behind the scene, right? So thank you very much for understanding. So quickly, today, actually, we're going to be looking at how to use data and insight to help grow your business, right? To help your business grow in all the possible way it can. And I so much love this particular section because one thing I so much believe in marketing in business is if you cannot measure what you are doing, then there is possibly no way you can actually improve it, right? So the best way to actually measure it is actually getting to leverage on data, right? So data is actually one thing that helps you to measure most of those activities through data. You get to know how many people are connecting with you through data. You get to know how many people are also working with you. So please, if you're just joining us on this call, I will actually beg us to please introduce yourself in the comment section. Tell us where you're joining us from, and I'll just take a moment to actually acknowledge you as you join. So please just head on to the comment section and just introduce yourself. Tell us where you are joining us from, and we'll do well to acknowledge you. All right. I think the first person I have on the chat section, after my moderator, is Raji Idris joining us from Lagos. Thank you very much, Raji. So please, if you are also joining, you can do well to just respond in the comment section and just tell us where you're joining us from, and we'll do well to acknowledge you as well. So, like I was saying, okay, we have Chika Onyekwe joining us from Lagos as well. Thank you very much, Chika, for that. I have Halima Gayam's Corner. Halima is joining us from Nasarawa. Thank you very much, Halima. You're welcome to today's section. Thank you. So let's keep the introduction coming. I have Joyce Kimaro from Arusha in Tanzania. Thank you very much. I have Helen from Nairobi. Thank you very much, Helen, for joining. Thank you for joining. Then I have Unikali joining from Nairobi as well. I have Juan Miano joining from Kenya. I have Grace Atom joining us from Gombe as well. Okay, I have team joining us from Impactor team. Good morning. Okay, sorry, I actually missed it, but I don't know where is joining us from. I have okay, I think basically this is the people I have. Then I have Valerie joining from Nairobi. Thank you very much, Valerie. You're all welcome. Okay, team is actually joining us from Nigeria. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. So let's proceed and let's get started to today's section. So quickly, we'll actually be looking at, just like I said, how to use data and insight to help grow your business. It is also very important. Like, data is actually everything. Data helps us to make a lot of informed decision, right? So as a point of guard, we'll actually be looking at these three agendas for today. First is we're going to understand the right questions to ask, especially when dealing with data, because data is more like trying to get feedback, trying to get information from people and record it so that you can leverage on those information and actually make decision, right? Secondly, is you are going to identify the best tool to use, right, in getting those information. And finally, we're going to see how to understand and analyze those data that we have gotten already, right? So just sit tight, and please, if you have any question, by any means, don't hesitate to just ask your question in the chat section. We also have time for questions, and we'll also be engaging with some of those questions. So before I proceed, I also want to introduce you to what we call Google Hustle Academy. It's actually a program by Google to all small business owners and large business owners that are willing to scale or are ready to scale, right? So this program is actually free from Google. All you need to do is just apply. It's a 1 week long program that takes you through the process of business growth, how to improve your sales, marketing, how to also develop your finances, and finally how to also um, develop or create your own pitch deck. So this training is actually a comprehensive and holistic training that is actually prepared by Google, and you are not going to be paying anything. The link for this particular training will also be dropped in the comment section by my moderator Nora Kalu, who actually dropped that link. So please, you can apply if you want to. You are interested in. It's actually free. You are not going to be paying anything for it. Now, before we proceed, I want this training to be as engaging as possible. I want to see your responses. I also want to also get to hear from you, right? So I want to know in how will you or what words will you use to describe your customers currently? If you are asked to describe your customers, how or what kind of word will you use to describe them? Will you say they're excellent, they're amazing, they're engaging, they are fun to be with, and all of that? So how will you describe your customer in which kind of words? So please, I want to see those responses in the comment section. Let's just take a minute to do that. What words will you use to actually describe your customers? Okay, I have Diana Johnny from Ghana. Thank you very much. So can we respond to this? And what words will you use to describe your customers? Let's respond. There are no wrong answers actually. So please, you can just do well to just respond. What words will you use to actually describe your customers? Okay, I have Helen Apila said engaging and straightforward. Thank you very much for that amazing response. Thank you. So we're still expecting to see more responses, please. Let's feel free to please respond. All right, I have Sasa say adventurous. Thank you very much, Sasa, for that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's keep those responses coming through. All right, I think we just have but a few. All right, so we'll still go ahead while others are still trying to drop their questions. So let's go straight to the agenda for today, which is the first agenda, right? Which is understand the right questions to ask. Now, data is actually a vital and also a sensitive information, right? Like I said earlier, data, we use data a lot in making informed decision, and we are producing data anywhere. As you move, you're making or producing data. You talk, you're producing data. You wake up in the morning, you're producing data. You are going to work, you're producing data. And how do you produce data in so many ways like this, right? The kind of things you do are actually data. The hobbies you have are data. The food you likes are data. The kind of routine you take in a day are data, right? Your activities on social media are actually data. As far as there are patterns to how you do things, they are repetitive scenarios to things you do, they are actually captured as data. So more like there's a particular way you like to eat, there's a particular way you like to go to work or routine you like to go, there's a time you wake up from sleep. All those things can be captured as data, right? But data is only useful when you understand the kind of data you need at a particular time to make a decision, right? So if you are given the opportunity to ask your customers question, what kind of question will you actually want to ask them, right? Like for instance, you want to ask them how do they feel about your product, or was your services okay for them, right? So what kind of questions do you want to ask your customers if given the opportunity to do so, right? So I have responses already. Halima said amazing. And Abolo Kimaru said, my customers are interactive and provide feedback to shape the product. Thank you very much, right? So now, coming to this particular second question, what questions do you want to ask your customers if given the privilege to do so? Or if you are actually with your customer one on one, what question do you want to ask them, especially regarding the product or business you do, right? What kind of question? So let me just see one response, one or two response from us before we continue. What questions do you think you want to ask your customers? I'm still waiting for that particular response. What kind of question do you want to ask your customer if given the opportunity to do so, right? Still waiting for us. What kind of question? If, for instance, if I'm running a business, if I'm allowed to just um, interact with my customer, there are definitely some question I need to ask. How is the product I'm selling to him? Does he feel that I'm offering good customer service to him? Okay, Sasa say, why do they come back or why not? All right, that is actually a great and amazing question to ask, right? That is actually amazing question, right? So now let's go through the process of analytics, knowing what to ask, and how to do so, right? So there's a process we call the process of analytics where you get to know how to go about asking the right question, right? So the first step, if you want to ask, is actually knowing what is the objective of what you are trying to do. Let's take, for instance, you want to actually solve a particular problem, right? Remember, I said data is actually used to make informed decision. Those informed decision is more like you are trying as much as possible to provide solutions. So let me give you a practical example. You are running a business, and for over time, you are losing customers. You are not getting customers coming back to your store, right? That is a particular problem that data can solve. So, what you need to do is you need to find out why customers are not coming back, right? So, for you to do that, you need to know what is the objective of what you are trying to do. So, what is my objective is the first step. So, objective is more like trying to know why you want to actually do that, right? So the purpose or the objective might be to know why your customers are not coming back, right? Then second process is knowing what question to address, right? What question do I need to address? So, in asking if feedback from people, in asking question around, you need to know what kind of questions that will actually help you in knowing why your customers are not coming back, right? Then where do you get that information from? So when you know the questions to ask, how or where can you get those questions answered? Do you go back and begin to find those customers that are not coming back, or do you get them from engaging customers already? And after you have actually getting that information, then what do you do with that information? That is how to go about analyzing data for your business. That is how to go about solving a particular problem for your business, right? So now let's go through all of them. What is your objective? So probably the objective of your data analytics, or the objective of trying to get data from people, is to let people know more about your business, or to sell more of your product or service, to identify the most valuable customers, right? Especially in this identification, right? Probably you have thousands of customers coming into your shop, and at the end of the year, just the way bank do their end of year promo, or customer service week and all of that, you want to identify your most valuable customers. Probably that is the objective of what you are trying to solve, and you need to know how to go about identifying that customer, right? Or you want to find new ways for people to engage with your previous customers. So these are actually different objectives. It depends on what you are trying to do or what you are trying to solve. The second question is, what questions do you need to address, right? There are types of questions to ask about your business. So there's a model, or there's actually a framework we call the reach, or sorry, the RIN framework, right? Where R stands for reach, E stands for engage, A stands for activate, then finally N stands for nurture, right? So this particular framework helps us to know the types of questions to ask about our business, right? So R is more like trying to know who is your target audience and how do you reach them online, right? Who is your target audience and how do you reach them online? Under engaging part is, are they finding what they need, or are they looking for, are they seeing what they are looking for, right? Then activate is trying to know whether they are booking when they find what they need or not. And nurture is more about returning customers, trying to know whether they are actually coming back or not. So it's very, very important you have this at the back of your mind so that it will help you in processing or getting information about what you are trying to do. Then, thirdly, is where do you get this information from? Where do you get this information from? There are various ways in which you can get information about your customers, about your business, and all of that, right? How your business is doing. Platforms like social media, organic search, your website, actually, if you have any, and paid campaign, if you're running any advertising online, right? So these platforms actually help you to gain right information about your business, especially if you have social media handle on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, right? So you can actually get information about how your business is doing, how people are engaging with you, and where are they coming from. Organic search as well. You get to also know whether people are searching for you online or not. Your website is also another amazing platform if you have any, where you get to connect it with Google Analytics, and through that you can retrieve information about how people are connecting to your website and all of that, right? Then finally, what do you do with this information after you have gotten those information is also another important thing, right? So using insight actually helps you to identify the latest market trends and insight. Let's say you want to know which products or which goods are actually selling the more on the internet, and probably you are selling a particular product, right? And you want to identify which of those product is actually trending in the market. You want to also probably understand customers' paths to purchase and success. Also, this can also be gotten through the process of analytics. Probably you want to identify which type of content people engage with the most. Like I said, you can get those information from your social media. Let's say you have been posting in your social media for a very long time and you are not seeing the activity, you are not seeing the engagement, right? That you are supposed to see, or the growth in your social media, right? You can actually go the process of analytics. You need to understand data. So you go through all your posts and identify and look at those insight, getting to see how many people connect with you on each of your posts. Probably there might be some posts that you notice that it has higher engagement than others, and through that you now begin to ask your question, why is this post having higher engagement? Is it that the content of the post is more appealing to customers on, and all of that, right? So through that you get to know which kind of content you further create, right, when developing your content. So last but not the least is adopt your strategy. After you have gotten all of this, and you now know what to do with the information you have gotten, and how to actually process that and make meaningful um implication or meaningful impact on your business, right? So I'll be pausing here for question, and please, if you have any question as regards to the first agenda we just treated, you can do well to just drop your question in the comment section. I will actually attend to read. All right, I think I okay. Okay, I have one question from Halima. She's saying, how do I increase the clarity of my screen? Okay, Halima, I don't know if you're on your YouTube on WhatsApp on your phone. There's a three dotted mark on the screen at the top right hand corner. I think if you click on it, you see quality, and when you click quality, you see the list of quality from 420 to 720. I think you should take it to the highest, right, which is 720p, I think. So just try that, and I think it should be clear enough um, on your own screen. Thank you very much. So do we have any question? Do we have any question that we want to ask? Okay, I have some responses before. So from Halima, she say the question she wants to ask our customers is, where do they want us to improve? Thank you very much. Okay, Abalo say, how are you doing with products you purchase from us? Do you need any improvement in the product? Thank you very much. So please, if you have any question, you can do well to drop your question in the comment section, and we'll do well to attend to it, right? Any question? Do we have any question, please? Do we have any question, please? Any question? All right, so we'll proceed to go to the second agenda, which is identify the best tool to use. Right, identifying the best tool to use has to do with we already know the kind of question or the right question we want to ask by knowing what is the objective of what we are trying to do. Right, so if you know the question you want to ask, how or what kind of tool do you need to actually ask those questions, right? So I don't know whether we have people that have leveraged on any analytics tools before or currently, whether Google Analytics or that of your social media platform, right? The Facebook Insight or the Instagram Insight, we see where it gives us a summary of total number of views, engagement, likes we have on our social media profile. I don't know if we have anyone that has engaged with that before. If you have come across any analytic tool before, you can please just identify with a yes in the chat section. I'll actually do well to acknowledge that, right? So, analytic tool can be Google Analytics or the insight we get from our social media handles, right? So, there are a lot of tools or there are various tools that we can actually leverage on. We have those social tools, especially the aspect of our social media on Twitter, Facebook, also had Hotsuite. You can also have that on Instagram as well, right? So tools that helps you to actually checkmate, especially how your post is doing, all the posts you have made, the total number of followers you have, the total number of engagement you have on those posts, the likes, the comment, the shares, all those things are actually information that are very, very useful and important to your business. Why? Because if you have been posting for over time, right, and you are not getting the result you are expecting to get, right? So the best thing to do is to identify or to go through all your posts and look at the tools, analytics, look at the data and understand which of those posts are actually getting more engagement and why and all of that, right? Through that, you cannot be able to actually notice some patterns or some trends in which you get engagement through your post, whether you want to actually identify which of those posts is actually getting more engagement or not, right? Then we have organic search tools like Google Search Console. We have Google My Business, right? These platforms also gives you a lot of feedback as to how your business is doing, especially when you have a website, right? So Google Search Console is all about monitoring your website activities, while Google My Business helps you to actually position or place your business in two amazing platforms, which is Google Search and Google Maps. And through all of those platforms, you get to also see data and insight about how people are connecting with you. Then we have the third one, which is your website, right? Your website is actually or should be linked to Google Analytics because Google Analytics gives you a summary of how people are connecting with you, what they are doing at the moment, and how they find you on those platforms, and even getting to understand their value to your business, right? So Google Analytics helps you to get all of that. So last but not the least, when you talk of paid campaign or paid search, right, you talked about Google Ads, where you run your advertisement trying to reach more people or trying to create more awareness for your business, right? So also these particular platforms also gives you insight and data about your business, especially how many people have seen your ad, the impression you have gotten, the clicks, the downloads, the whatever you set as your call to action is happening. You also get it on those platforms, right? You get to also see that. Now, looking at Facebook page insight, right? Like I said, you can also get most of this insight on your social media handle, right? So you can find out what people are engaging with on your Facebook page and how they are finding you actually. So Facebook page insight gives you this summary like trying to know the number of page followers, trying to know the number of reach, post engagement, right? All and on your website. So this information gives you clarity as to knowing maybe there is a particular post that is more engaging, there's a particular content that people like the most, maybe it's a video or it's a graphics, right? Through that you get to know which kind of content to actually proceed further and be creating in the course of your business, right? And this platform gives you those accurate data, and also you get to know what time of the day people are connecting with you, just so that you can make informed decision as to know what time to be posting and to get also high engagement rate, right? We know that some people just wake up in the afternoon, morning, or evening and just make posts, but you're not too sure whether or not your customers are actually available at that time. But the only way you can be sure is from your data and from the feedback you have gotten across some previous posts you have done, right? Getting to know when or what time the engagement happens. So it's only very important also. Then we have Google Search Console, like I said, for a website. If you have a website and you want Google to have access to that website and be showing it to customers, you have to register it on Google Search Console. And the moment you do that, Google Search Console also start giving you data about how your website is doing, the total number of visits, engagement, the amount, the pages that people are actually going for, and the number of clicks you receive on that particular website. All this can be gotten from Google Search Console, and it's not like you're actually paying anything, right? It's a free tool that you can leverage on to boost your business. It's a free tool that you can leverage on to actually monitor how your business is doing online, especially if you have a website, right? It's compulsory or it's important you register your website on Google Search Console so that you give Google access to it. Whenever someone else customer is searching for you online, he gets to actually see you appear as an option on those platforms, right? So Google Search Console is also an important tool. Then we have Google Business Profile, right? Popularly known as Google My Business, right? So it actually helps you to manage your online presence across Google Search and Google Maps. So what it means is you can actually showcase your business to people. You can actually direct or position your business on Google Map where people get to use or leverage on Google Map to either drive or navigate to your particular location, right? So Google Business Profile helps you to do that or position your business in that direction, right? So you can also put your business on Google Business Profile and appear on map. It's also very important because a lot of people search for location. Search location happen on Google Maps always, especially on in popular cities, right? So if you want your business to appear on Google Maps anytime someone is searching for them, you can actually put it on Google Business Profile. And this particular Google Business Profile also gives you the data you need, trying to tell you how many people have connected you, trying to tell you how many people have actually come to your location through the Google Map, how many clicks you have gotten across your post and all of that. So Google Business Profile helps you with that. Then we have Google Trends, right? You want to know what is trending, just like you go on Twitter to know what is trending. If you want to know what people are searching for across the internet or across Google, you can go to Google Trends to identify the popularity of a search term in Google and identify whether a trend is on the rise or declining, right? So if, let's say, for instance, you want to start selling Gucci wears over Versace and all of that, right? You need to know how well or how are people searching for it recently. So if you search for the word Gucci, you see the number of times people have searched for it and how it's either increasing or it's either reducing, right? So through Google Trends, you get to also know what is trending across the internet. And it's also one of the most amazing tools you can use to actually ask the right question or getting to know the right answers to most of the questions you have, probably knowing you want to know what is trending and all of that. Then getting to rise and above your competitors using Google Trends and how do you go about that? Because you are going to be finding relevant trending topics, right? If you are a blogger and you want to be blogging news, you want to actually be sharing informative news, right? Before you go about, you need to know which kind of topics or which kind of trending words can should you write about. Excuse me. So which kind of trending topics you write about, and that can be seen or that can be gotten under Google Trends, right? Then you can also use Google Trends to monitor your competitors, getting to know what they are doing and all of that. Keyword research, also trying to know what people are using to search for your business or for the kind of business you do. So keyword research helps a lot using Google Trends, right? Then you get to promote around seasonal trends. Especially Google Trends will tell you that you through Google Trends you probably see the product and the period in which it's of in high demand and the period in which it's on a lower demand, right? Let's say for instance we have cold and hot and rainy season. Rainy season and dry season, right? So you know there are some products that are much available during rainy season, or they are much scarce during rainy season and available during dry season. So you get to leverage on those kind of information through Google Trends so that you know or how to promote around seasonal trends for your product or services. Then find the topics by region. You can also get to know what people are searching for you, what people are discussing, or what people are looking for in Lagos, in Abuja, in Nairobi, and all of that. So you can streamline those kind of information to know what topic are people discussing about, right? So all that can be gotten. Then analytics, right? Like I said, if you have a website, it's also very important you integrate your website with Google Analytics to understand what customers do on your website, right? So customers come to your website, some of them leave, some of them navigate through some pages, some of them click on some links, some of them fill up some forms. So for you to have an idea or to know what customers are actually doing on your website, you need to integrate your website to Google Analytics, right? Google Analytics helps you to actually monitor that kind of activity. So I'll be pausing here secondly for question. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask before we go to the final agenda for today. If you have any question, if you have any question, you can do well to ask. Okay, I can see Ruth joining from Kenya. Thank you very much, Ruth, for joining. So if you have any question, please do well to ask. If you have any question, please. If you have any question or contribution, please, you can do well to ask from the first agenda and the second agenda we just treated. So please feel free to do that. You can feel free to ask your question before we proceed to the last agenda for today. If you have any question, all right. So I think while we still are looking out for those questions, we'll actually proceed to the last agenda for today, which is understand and analyze your data, right? So remember, we took from the first agenda, which is understanding the right questions to ask, then the second agenda, which is getting to know the tools you use to get those kind of questions, right? Okay, Ruth Salima is saying, what are the payment rates for Google, right? Google actually allows you to set the amount you want to pay or you want to spend on your ad, right? But it should be as minimum as five. It shouldn't be minimum less than $5. Sorry, $5. But you can set it as much as you can and flexible as you want to, right? So there are no fixed rate as to how much you want to spend on Google. Then I have Joyce who want to say, how do I delete a business site which I was trying to create on Google My Business, right? um you can actually just delete it or edit it totally to what you want to do. So I don't know whether the website you don't need it at all, so you can unpublish the website. That is more a way of actually removing it from the internet. So it's just unpublish it, and that will actually help you in solving that particular problem. All right, so we'll go straight to understand and analyze your data, right? So understanding data has to do with after those information have been gotten, how do you make meaning to those data? How do you actually understand those data, right? So those data in some platforms have already been summarized, have already been interpreted, right? So platforms like Google Analytics dashboard has summarized the data for you and make the data more useful, especially trying to know the summary of what you have. You can, from Google Analytics, see the total number of countries that have engaged with your business and the percentage by country, right? So it will give you the raw data of trying to know the individuals and all of that. So you can get a summary of that. You get to also see the total number of clicks you have on your website, section duration you have on your website, also all can be gotten from your Google Analytics dashboard, right? Then how do you go about setting up a Google Analytics dashboard? This is important, and this is important especially for those that have website, right? This is important for those that have website. If you want to set up your Google Analytics account, the first step to do is to go to analytics www.google.com. Second step is to choose a name for your account. Third step is actually to choose an industry category. So if you want to set up your Google Analytics account, remember I told you you need to have a website. So if you have a website already and you want to monitor the activities of your website, you want to know how people are engaging with you, you first go to Google Analytics, which is through analytics.com, create your account there, choose an industry, and there will actually be a step or a guide to let you know how to integrate your website to the analytics so that it can be drawing information or retrieving information from your website as people engage with the website, right? Then, then the next step you would need to do is to actually to integrate that you find a tracking code for your website. So tracking code for your website is gotten from the analytics account. And for you to do that, you can just check your analytics dashboard under admin section. It will actually show you the tracking code. That tracking code is very important, especially in the aspect of integrating or retrieving information from your website. So if the moment you input the tracking code on your website, Google Analytics can actually be able to retrieve data from your website so that it will now begin to tell you information like how people are connecting with you, where are they coming from, and all of that. That can be done if you put, and there are different ways you can actually um, do that, right? So if you are using a WordPress website, you can actually also integrate your tracking code through a plugin, which is the Google Analytics plugin. So all you need to do is to install the plugin through your WordPress site, and you can now integrate that particular design. Now, there are four main areas of reporting in Google Analytics, which you need to actually be very, very mindful of, right? So the four main areas are your audience, how you acquire them, their behavior on their website, and what they were able, the actions they were able to take, which is called conversions. So Google Analytics help you to understand your audience, which is knowing who are they. Their Google Analytics will also tell them the acquisition, how they find you or how they find your website. Google Analytics will also tell you the behavior, that is, what are they doing when they find you, right? Like what did they did on your website, which pages did they go to. Then finally, Google Analytics will also tell you conversions, which is trying to know what are they worth to you, right? So when they find you, what did they do? Did they take action? Did they buy from you? Did they buy a specific product and all of that? So all these things are things that you get from Google Analytics. Now, these are data from Google Analytics, and this is how you get to see them, like trying to know the channel people are engaging with, the total number of users, that is the acquisition, the amount of time they spend on the site. So if you look at the breakdown I have, excuse me, I have on my screen, you can see organic search, you can see referral, you can see direct, you can see paid search, you can see social affiliate and display. So all these are various channels in which people can connect with you online, right? So Google Analytics helps to give you the numbers. So the numbers has to do with the total number of people that connect with you through organic search, total number of people that connect with you through social media, and all of that. And these are actually authentic data that help you to know what people are doing or how they are connecting with you, right? So using or leveraging on the ring method to ask the right question and know what to do with that information. So if you want to know how people are finding you online, right? So the first thing is to identify which search terms are they driving, or are driving organic traffic. Then you need to develop relationship with referral website, especially if you see much traffic coming from those kind of website. So if you are trying to know how people are finding you online, then you need to also identify the kind of keywords they use or the kind of keyword that is driving traffic to that website, right? Then secondly, if you are leveraging on the engagement or trying to know what are people engaging with when they find you online, right? Then you get to also look out for or learn which pages are not getting any views, right? Discover what is really engaging your visitor. So if your website has like 5 or 6 different pages, right? So you need to know which of those pages are getting more engagement and which of them are getting less engagement. Through that, you get to know what you need to do or how you go about optimizing the pages that are having less engagement, and also ensuring or prioritizing pages that have more engagement as well. Then under the activate method, right, you get to know which channel is driving the most booking, right? So you have to identify referral side that come out. You look out for also underperforming side, right? And all of that. So identify which side is actually driving conversion for you or driving sales for you, or which of those pages is also very important. Then nurturing your customers, trying to make sure that your customers are happy to leave a review, right? So try different ways, like we said earlier, how you engage with your customers or how you ask customers to leave a review for you, right? Try different ways to encourage purchasers to leave a review and what also works best for them. So it's very, very important you get to know, and you also nurture your customers, especially trying to understand how they engage with you. Then we have Google Trends, just like we discussed earlier. Google Trends helps you a lot in exploring what the world is searching, right? This is like the back end of Google search. So as people are searching through Google search, you can also be knowing what people are searching through Google Trends, right? So Google Trends helps you to know what people are searching by region, by country, by state. You can also know what people are searching in Lagos, what people are searching in Abuja, what people are searching in Nairobi, what people are searching in Tanzania. All can be known, right? So you can know what is trending in that particular area so that you get to know what you need to do on how to also jump on those kind of opportunities, right? So Google Trends helps you with that a lot, right? So I'm promoting your business around seasonal trends, right? And so when you know or have an idea of what is trending and all of that, so you get to also leverage on those kind of information to know how to promote your business. Let's say you notice that during rainy season a particular product or goods is actually trending, and during dry season a particular goods or um, um, services is actually trending, right? You can, through that now, use those trends to identify seasonal product demands, adjust your offerings according to those supply and demand, then create content around current trends, right? So that your business will also be relevant in those kind of conversation. So it's also very important, and how Google Trends can help you to achieve that as well. Then use Google Trends to also for keyword research. Is also very important, and it's also very useful, especially in identifying other potential keywords that your business might need, or naming your product categories according to those popular keywords, and optimizing your post according to trending keywords. Google Trends helps you to achieve that, right? You can also use Google Trends for keyword research. Remember, keyword research is trying to know the kind of words or sentences customers use to search for you online, so that you can actually be creating content that will actually fall in line with those kind of things. And through that, you can now fall into conversation anytime someone is searching for you, right? So I'll be pausing here finally for question. If you have any question, please, by all means, you can ask your question and we'll do well to answer them. All right. I think I have okay, Joyce said, I've tried it, but I'm unable and it is incomplete. Okay, so I don't know, Joyce, if you can send us email to pr@impactor.org. I think we can help you resolve that. So this is more like a technical thing that we cannot do on this particular live training, and I'm not able to also provide you much information. This is not something we can do right here. So if you can just send us an email at pr@impactor.org, we'll actually do well to connect with you and see how we can help you with that. So I have okay. Okay, thank you very much. So please, do we have any more questions? Do we have questions so that we can actually happy? So attendance link will also be shared with you in the comment section. So please ensure once you receive the link that you fill in your attendance. Is very, very important, and fill in the right topic, which is use data and insight to grow your business. So ensure you fill in the attendance once it's dropped by Nora Kalu. So she'll drop the attendance link in the comment section. So please ensure you do that. So thank you very much for that as well. So if you have any question, any contribution as regards to what we have treated, please you can also do well to ask while we are trying to round up. And also I want to make a reminder to us that if you have not, maybe probably you are not on this call when I announced it, there's actually a free bootcamp available from Google, which we call the Google Hustle Academy, right? It's actually a free 1 week training for businesses that want to scale or that are ready to scale All you need to do is just to register for the Google Hustle Academy. The link has been dropped before, and I think Nora will still drop it again in the chat section. So it's a free 1 week training where you take Google will take you through the fundamentals of business growth and strategy, marketing, how to increase your sales, and also about your finances, how to develop your financial models and all of that. And finally, how to pitch for success. All those things will be treated during the course of the bootcamp. So please ensure if you're interested, you actually apply through the link that will be dropped in the chat section. And some people I know might have come across the link before. So please leverage on that opportunity. It's totally free. And ensure, please, Nora. Okay, Nora has dropped the attendance link. Please, let's do well to also fill up the attendance. And now, your next step towards this kind of training, we always advise people to please go further in learning more. This is just more like trying to create awareness as to the benefit of what data and insight can help your business to do, right? So you can get more information online. You can see more free courses, and that will help you to gain more information about your digital presence and all of that. So you can go to learndigital.withgoogle.com/. Digital skills courses, right? So that link will also be dropped in the chat section. Through that, you can see many opportunities to take free courses and certifications online. And again, you can also do well to find us on social media. If you're on Facebook, you can find Facebook Google Digital Skills for Africa on Facebook at facebook.com/digital skills for Africa. And if you're on Twitter, you can find Google Digital Skills for Africa on Twitter at twitter.com/digital skills AF. If you're on Instagram, you can also find us on Instagram at instagram.com/digital skills AF. So, and that of Impactor as well will be dropped in the comment section, right? That of Impactor will also be dropped in the comment section. Please, you can connect with us. And if you have not subscribed to this YouTube handle, please click on the subscribe button and also on the bell icon. This is just to get notification anytime we're trying to go live on any of our training. We have so much training coming through, right? So it's so that you don't just miss it, you get notified anytime we are going live in any of our trainings. So from my end, thank you very much. I want to also thank everyone for taking our time to participate in this particular section. And we are so much happy to have you. And please ensure that if you have any question, you always reach out to us and we'll be much available to help you through that. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for your time and thank you very much for staying to the end of this section. And for me, I want to wish you happy week ahead and please ensure you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.